Alright, in this video we're going to be talking about Savart Law, which is the most complicated. It is the most direct way but complex way to use the integral to set up when you have current through a wire, the segment of that to create a portion of a magnetic field. So it's an integral setup. It is the most general way to determine the magnetic field from current going through a wire. Okay, so it has a lot of complexity, and so this video will talk about exactly how that integral setup works. So now we're going to look out to figure out exactly how a current or a moving charge creates a magnetic field. And we're going to do with this complicated integral or complicated problem scenario called Biot Law. This is it's a complicated looking integral scenario, and it is kind of a tedious integral to do. Generally, when we do it in most problems, they're going to be kind of simple if we're going to rely on this. But it's used to directly calculate the magnetic field from some little piece of current that's moving. And what you usually do is you integrate it over the entire loop, basically. So magnetic field over the entire current. So basically, in this idea with an integral, you want to split up the loop into little pieces of currents, and you want to attempt to calculate this term over here, and then you want to attempt to integrate over that. And usually when you're doing that, you're parameterizing it over a parameter, basically. If you guys have gotten into multivariable calculus, some of you have, some of you haven't. But you can, this is basically going to be some kind of line integral or sum integral. But let's kind of describe it in some examples so I can kind of show you how it works. So what is the magnetic field at point P due to the current I shown in the wire? So here we have current I flowing in a loop like this wire here. And we would like to know what the total magnetic field is. And you're going to break it into four pieces. We have a piece going this way and a piece going this way. So what you want to do is you want to break up the chunk into a little component. That's called our DL. That's the DL vector. It's the direction, and it goes in the direction that the current goes. Okay? And then the R hat is the unit vector that points in the direction from the point to where the current is. So this would be R. And if you look at the DL cross R here, because they're parallel, that cross product is 0 for that one. So basically, this segment here doesn't contribute any magnetic field to that point. What about these segments here, like a segment in this part of the loop? Well, here's the DL, and then the R looks like this. Right? That's my R. And so when you're doing DL cross R, they just multiply because the DL is perpendicular to the R vector, right? And R hat is a unit 1, so like this just becomes DL. So in this segment, the magnetic field from this component is dB is equal to mu naught I over 4 pi, and then DL is just DL cross R hat, but since R hat is length 1, and it's already perpendicular, it's just DL times R hat, but R hat, again, is length 1. So it's just DL over R squared. Okay? So if I want the total magnetic field due to this guy, if I integrate this dB, that would be the integral of mu naught I over 4 pi R squared dl. The R is constant during this time. The R is actually equal to B. So it's mu naught I over 4 pi B squared. Integral of dl, which is just the length of this loop, which is half of a circumference, which is pi times r, or b in this case. So the pi's cancel and one of the b's cancel. So I get the magnetic field from this segment here is mu naught I over 4b. Now what's the direction of this? If you do r cross, if you do your DL, which is going up and to the right, so if we do our right-hand rule, so DL is my middle finger, cross with R is going up and to the right, my thumb is coming towards me. So this component is pointing out of the page. Okay? Then we look at maybe the inner loop, right? So the inner loop then has current going here like this. This is DL. And a similar thing happens. The R is perpendicular to the DL, so when you do that cross product, you just get DL. So that's the integral of mu naught I over 4 pi r squared times dl. But here the r is a, integral of dl. And so it's the same calculation. It's just we're going to, instead of 4b, it's going to be 4a. But this is into the page by using our right-hand rule. My dl is up and to the left. My r is up and to the right. And so my thumb points into the page. So then the net magnetic field, this is bigger because it's A is smaller. So like this guy is bigger than that guy. So the net magnetic field, right, is this minus that. Mu naught I over 4A minus mu naught I over 4B. Okay. So when we're doing this problem here, so we find the magnetic field at the center C of the rectangular loop of the wire shown in the accompanying figure. Again, we want to take each loop and we want to chop it up into a segment. We'll call it dl. Now the r vector looks like this, but r, we're not crossing it with r, we're crossing it with r hat. R hat is like a in this direction, but length basically length 0. Okay. So let's say so sometimes what's easiest to do is like set a coordinate system. Like let's say this is x equals 0, and then this is like x equals negative a over 2, and then this is like x equals positive a over 2. Okay. Now, if we would do dl cross r, okay, dl crossed with the r hat vector, what I want to do is I want to take the dl and I want to multiply it by the component of the r that's perpendicular. But look at this. If I decompose this component here, it's always pointing like it's always the same length no matter what. Like the component of r, right? So r hat as defined by a vector notation is like, you know, r divided by the magnitude. It's like makes it unit length, right? So in this case, the r is pointing the component, and then when I cross it, all I care about is the component that is perpendicular here, right? So basically, this is I want to multiply it by this guy over here. So this is dl crossed with r over the magnitude of r, or you know, like so basically when I cross it, I know that this length here is automatically like b over 2, right? Because it's like half of the length of this side. So it's just going to be dl times b over 2 divided by r. So I only care about the part that's perpendicular to the dl, right, which is going to the right, divided by the length here. So when we do this, mu naught I over 4 pi r squared, and then the dl cross r hat is going to be dl b over 2 all over r like this. Okay, so that's mu naught I b over 4 pi r cubed. Oh, sorry, 8 pi r cubed because there's a 1/2 over here, like this, a dl. Now, what you want to do is you want to put the r in terms of dl, or maybe the dl in terms of it. So instead of dl, I'm going to replace it with dx, just because that's like a little bit more, you're a little bit more used to it that way. Okay? It doesn't really matter. It's just the letter that I choose. So the dx is going that way instead. And now I want to put the r in terms of there. But I know that the Pythagorean theorem, like this distance here is x. So I know that r squared is equal to the square root of x squared plus, like this squared plus b over 2 squared. Okay? Sorry, r squared is equal to that without the square root, sorry. From Pythagorean theorem. But I'm doing r cubed, so it's really this to the 3/2 power. So this would be mu naught I b over 8 pi x squared plus b over 2 squared to the 3/2 dx. And so this is tricky because this integration requires yeah, this one's not really doable in this class. you have to use a trig substitution to do this integral. So that one's a little bit tough. So I might just change this problem to just set it up, because this integral is like you're going to integrate this then to get the total current. You're going to integrate from negative a over 2 to a over 2. And this is not an integral that I would expect you to be able to do in Physics C. This is a trig substitution integral. You would, yeah, it's like, it's you know, you would simplify this a little bit, and then we would do the trig substitution, do that integral. But then you would get the same thing. So you're going to get that, and like this guy, so like if you do for your right-hand rule, the current here is going to be pointing, it's going to be pointing into the page. And then for this guy, it's also going to be into the page. So from this guy and this guy, you're going to get 2 of those. And then you'd have to add in these segments here. But here you would just swap the roles of A and B, right? So it'd be negative B over 2 to positive B over 2, mu naught I A over 8 pi x squared plus A over 2 squared to the 3/2 dx. And that would be like your total setup, right? But actually evaluating this integral requires some trig substitution, so there might be some formulas for that. So more important that you know how to set up the integral. So I'm going to change that wording to just say just set up the integrals to find it. But hopefully it makes sense. You're finding the total magnetic field by breaking it up into chunks, and then you're setting it up, which is why Biot Savart is very difficult to use in practice when it comes to actually solving.
If you found this video helpful, come check out our school community. It's got an amazing bunch of features. It's got extra videos, corrected videos, better than the ones that I have errors on YouTube. It's got multiple choice free response questions. I hold live Q&A sessions and go through more problems and I answer students' questions, help with schoolwork, all kinds of things. If you want to check it out, look in the description below, or check out the website and find us in the school community. You get a 7-day free trial to give it a shot, just to check it out, see what it's like, come join some calls, and honestly, come learn AP Physics 1 even faster with us.